Hello. Okay, so I am going to attempt to make a video about the dual credit process. Um, for those of you who missed the meeting, whether you just forgot about me or you had something else to do, um, I just thought I would try this as a way to get information out. And I think, honestly, I should have just done it this way to begin with because it's 2023 and who wants to stop what they're doing and come up to a meeting? But I do want you to hear the information before you decide whether or not you're going to enroll your child into college courses during high school. So that's why I make the meeting mandatory. I don't sign anyone up unless their parent is aware of all of the things I want them to be aware of before they sign them up. So I'm going to try to share my screen here. This was the handout that I hope it's sharing the screen with you. This was the handout that I gave everyone, and I will give you a copy if you request one. Or if you request to put your kid in dual credit. But let me start from the beginning. We used Western Texas College out of Snyder for our dual credit courses. Western Texas College is a 2-year college that transfers to any Texas State University. So their courses correspond, they are a Texas Tech campus. All colleges, state colleges in Texas are either under umbrellas of Texas Tech, Texas A&M, or University of Texas. They're a Texas Tech college, and so they will supply degree plans for their students to go to Texas Tech colleges. Like, for example, MSU in Wichita Falls is a new Texas Tech campus. Angelo State is a Texas Tech campus. They will also transfer to other state universities, but they don't offer the degree plans for those. And that would just really be for the students who chose to continue on at Western Texas College past the high school level. And sometimes we have students do that. And if they start taking classes during high school and they want to continue at Western Texas College, it's very easy. They don't make them reapply because they're already a student. Their courses are very affordable. And the professors work with us. They work with the students. I really like the college. My only negative about it is the location, like Snyder, Texas. But anyway, you can get past that for the money, I guess. But the classes we offer are the money saved, that is. The classes that we offer are all online. So they don't have to go to Western Texas College while they're in high school to take these courses. But basically, to start off with, in our student handbook, you have to have a 90 or above in the course that you want to take. So we offer juniors the opportunity to take history and English. So for them to be able to do that, to start off the bat, they have to have collectively in their freshman and sophomore year maintained a 90 or above in those courses. That's just number one. After that, the second thing that has to happen is the parent meeting, which is just me, letting you know. The third thing is then they have to pass what's called the TSI, and it's just the college entrance exam. And they have to pass that. If they don't pass the college entrance exam, then they can't take the courses. So that's the next step. So I'm going to go through all of the, hang on just a second. I have to pause. Okay, I'm back. So now I don't remember where I was. The TSI. The TSI test, they have to take the ELA part to take English and history. And I give that test here, and I'm going to give it on April 27th, which is next Thursday, I believe. Yes, next Thursday. And it costs $10. So you will send $10 with your student. They will take the TSI. If they pass it, then they can enroll in courses for dual credit. If they don't pass it, then they can't. I usually tell them that they get one opportunity, and if they can't pass it in the first try, then they don't need to take college courses. I am nice about that, though, and I will give them a second try. if they're close. I know how to read the scores and I can tell if they're close or not. And if they miss it just by just a little bit, definitely they need to retake it. If I know the cutoff of when they're probably going to retake it and still not pass it. And that just means they're just not ready to, that their writing skills aren't there. It's not that they won't be. It's just that they've only really been in high school for a year, and 3/4, I guess, or almost 2 years. And they're not ready for college. And that's okay. That's okay. You don't want them to get into college coursework in high school if they're not ready for college coursework, because it's also high school credit. It's college credit, but it's high school credit. And if you fail or you do poorly, then that's your high school grade also. And so you don't want them to not be ready for it. It's okay. They're only like 16 years old. And nobody is passing out $100 bills at graduation for the amount of college classes that you take while you're in high school. It is a personal decision. And you know your kid. I mean, we know your kids, but you know your kid. If you are constantly on them about getting their work done, if they wait till the last minute for things, like, they may not be ready for it, and that's okay. It's not a decision to make on whether or not, like, you went to college or not. Like, sometimes I feel like parents, they want to make that decision, like they went to college and their kids need to take these classes. Your kids aren't you. And in the same breath, it works the other way. If you didn't go to college and you really want them to go to college, that's fine, but your kids aren't you. So if they're not ready, they're not ready. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's just nothing wrong with that. There's nothing that happens with these kids in high school that doesn't happen with the other kids that don't take the college courses. Like, it's just a personal decision. And if your student really has no idea what they want to do and they're maybe lacking in maturity, you don't want to get them started on the wrong foot. Like, if they get in here and they don't do well and they have a bad time, you don't want to turn them off from extending their education past high school just because of a bad experience when they were 16 years old. That can happen. It can also go the other way, where they are doing really well and these classes are cheap. So you're like, let's take another one. Let's take 2 more. Let's just load these classes up. They leave here. They're 18. They have, 30 hours. And then they get to college and they have to declare a major, and they're 18 and they don't know. They like, well, I thought I wanted to be a nurse, but now maybe I want to be a teacher, or I thought I wanted to be a coach, but now I just don't think I want to do that. And I might want to go, to do physical therapy, or maybe I just want to do business. Maybe I like other things. And you don't know. So you start taking some classes, but that college is going to make them take courses in a major at that point, because they don't have anything left to take that's just generic, because you've already done it while they were in high school. And then at that point, if they're changing their major over and over because they had to decide when they were 18, you didn't really save any money, because you're taking classes at a 4-year university that are way more expensive, and then you don't need them because you changed your mind. They changed their mind, and you're just adding more money. If that makes sense. That was a lot of words, but it can work in negative ways is all I'm saying. Like, it's just a personal decision that you and your student need to make. It does not get them on a plaque in the hallway or anything like that. It is only for them, and only they can use those college credits. And we want to be careful about which ones they pick. We have a generic track for kids. So in junior year, and I'm just going to use my mouse to show you if you can see it moving here, but in junior year, they will take, opportunity-wise, to take 4 classes. They can take English and history the first semester. So colleges go by semester. So it's from fall to December is semester 1. And that would be English 1301, which would coincide with English 3, semester 1, and then U.S. History 1301, and goes with U.S. History in high school, semester 1. So they would complete those 2 courses by December. They would get, if they pass, they would get 3 hours for English, 3 hours for history. That's 6 college credit hours, or 2 course credits. 2 course. sorry, I'm saying this wrong. It's 6 credit hours in college, half of an English in high school, and half of a history in high school. And so then in January, so from January to May is the second semester. They're going to take the second part of English 1302 in college, history 1302 in college. That fulfills second semester high school of both. Then that would be the whole credit of English 3 and the whole credit of U.S. history for high school. You do not do high school work and college work. They will only do the high school work, college work, and it will count for high school credit. On grading, we're changing our grading policy for college credit. Right now, the grading policy is whatever the college grade is plus 10 points. So if they make an 85 in their college course, it would be a 95 for their high school report card. If they make 100 in the college course, they would make 110 on their high school report card. The part that we're changing, that's not new, but the part that we're changing is we are not going to post their college grades until the semester. So right now, what we've been doing is we've just been emailing professors at the 6 weeks and asking them, what is their grade right now? Well, professors don't work on 6-week schedules. So sometimes the professor, there have been times when the professor's like, well, the first 6 weeks, we don't even have a grade because we haven't had a major assignment yet. Or they have 100 because they've only done quizzes. Or maybe they have a 60 because they only took one test. And so in the end, they could still pull out an A if they had a 60 first 6 weeks, but by December, they got all of their stuff done. They could have had a 95 in that college class. But if we mark a 60 or really a 70 plus the 10 points on our 6 weeks report card, but then they end up with a 90 in December overall, it's not going to calculate out on the report card. And we've been just recalculating, but it's just bad communication for parents, I feel like, to have something on the report card that is not truly what it's going to be. So what we have decided to do is we're just not putting grades on report cards until semester. They will be keeping a grade in the class. The professor keeps a grade. They do. And you will be able to see it. You will have their username and password. You will be able to log in and look at any time. You can tell your kid, log in and show me your grade. It's not hard to see. And if you can't, if they're refusing, you ask us and we will make them do it. We will get the information for you. And we will try to send progress reports at 6 weeks and just say, like this is where they're at. But like I said, sometimes the professors answer us and sometimes they are like, we haven't graded anything or we haven't done the lab or whatever. So we just think this will be better off overall. Of course, we're going to still keep track of them. That's a good thing about the Million in High Schools. They will have a proctor. The English proctor will be Miss Martinez, and the history proctor this year was Coach Benson. But I'm sure it'll either stay the same or it'll be another teacher if it's not because of the transition with O'Brien. I don't know what everybody's going to be doing, but so there's that. If you have any questions about that, because that's the thing about a video is I can't take questions, but if you have one, just ask me. It's no big deal. I missed something up here is after they pass the TSI, they still do have to pass their STAR end of course. That's part of the equation also. So, but they will. If they pass the TSI, they should pass the STAR. And then here is another thing about the STAR test. This history class right here, I have that spelled wrong. This history class right here is still a STAR tested class. So even though they're in college, they will still be responsible to pass the U.S. History STAR end of course next May, because that doesn't go away. That's just a state of Texas requirement. So, but I will say this, we have not had a college kid yet fail the U.S. History STAR test. So I don't think that that's going to happen. They're getting the same content. It's about U.S. history. That's what the STAR test is about. That's the content they're getting. So they should be able to pass it. However, I made this disclaimer in the meeting and I'll make it on here too. If your child is cheating, and we can't catch all cheating, especially in college. If they are, and by cheating, I mean Googling the answers to questions or looking at other Quizlets or however they cheat, and they're not retaining any of that information, they won't know the answers to the STAR test. So, and we tell them this, and you can just back us up. But like, yes, they may be making good grades, and yes, they may be getting the answers somewhere else, and it seems easy. But if they can't regurgitate some of that information onto a U.S. History STAR test, they're going to fail, and they won't get their diploma. And that will instantly kick them. If they fail the U.S. History, it will instantly kick them into summer school, instantly throw them into 45-45, which is 30 hours of mandatory tutorials to try to pass the STAR. So at that point, like, their college stuff would be done, and they would have to kick into that. So like, there is a repercussion for not learning the material. And because it is online and it's kind of self-paced and it's kind of on their own, like, there is a chance that that could happen. Hopefully it won't. Hasn't happened yet. Hopefully they won't do it. So let's move on to costs. Right now, I put approximately $250 for tuition for per class, and I should probably add per class on that because it is per class. That is a high estimate. Right now, if you take 2 classes, the bill is $402 for 2 courses. If you take 1 course, your bill is not $200. It's probably $250 because there is like a distance learning fee that is only charged one time. So you're going to get that regardless if you take 1 class or if you take 5 classes. So that's why it's not divided $200 a piece, but it is $402 unless they change the price, and they haven't yet. So the books are anywhere from $25 to $150, which that's a wide range. But the English book and the history book this year, all the kids were able to rent those books on Amazon for about $30. And the rental, you have to mail the book back, send it back through Amazon. But that's what everybody does. And there's no need to buy the book to keep. I don't think there's any way these kids will need these books for the rest of their lives. So I would rent it myself. The history book, they definitely need. The English book, Miss Martinez says, is they don't ever really access it. So if it's cheap, you could go ahead and rent it. You could just play it by ear and see if they need it. And we probably have some here. But that's just my best. And I will get that information to you as soon as the professors get it to me. So when I get the book information, I just push it out on text. I'll start a group text or a remind with all of the parents who are in this. And I just push that out. And you can search it on Amazon. Here are the expectations. They have to turn in all their assignments on time and study for their exams. That's the way they pass the classes. They have to be independently motivated because this is a college course and the college teacher is not here. So even though we have proctors, that's not their teacher. And the proctor is just there mainly to make sure that they're working. And so they're going to try to do what they can, but the kid has to do the work. So they have to use their time wisely. And I always say this, they have 5 45-minute periods to do this work. So they'll have a class period a day for the English and a class period a day for the history. So that's 5 45-minute periods to work on college history only and 5 45-minute periods to work on English only. So if they utilize that time for that, they should not have homework. There is not enough work pushed out from these professors to go home. If they have late night, overnight homework, it's because they procrastinated and did not use their time wisely. The professors give ample amount of time to study for tests. They will know about an essay that's due and a test that's coming up weeks in advance. The syllabus is lined out pretty much for the whole semester. They know. So don't let them fool you and tell you. And if we think that there's something that's not fair or right from the professor to the kids, we will intervene on that on their behalf. But we also will know if the kid's just lying and it wasn't that. And we will not fight for that. So if a kid waited until, Thursday night to do something that was due Friday at midnight and then they knew they had a football game, that's on them because they knew. And they had 5 45-minute periods, probably 2 or 3 weeks worth of that before it was due. That's the only time we've really had trouble is if a kid's like, yeah, I'm working on it at home, but they really weren't. And then it came back to bite them. Also, we have had kids try to plagiarize, which means taking, essay information, copying and paste it to their essay, and they get caught. The professors run those essays through these programs that can find whether they copied and pasted the wording, and they will give them a 0. And they won't let them change that. And that has happened before a couple of times. That they learn the hard way. Usually they can make it up with other work to not have the 0, but they probably won't end up with an A if that happens. So it goes back to the cheating. Here's the grades. I kind of already went over the grades. I skipped that for some reason. I put it out of order, but you have to make a C or higher to continue on with dual credit. So if they do not make above a 70, that no pass, no play, that still rings true. So if they don't, they won't get their high school credit if they don't. So I guess if they make a 60 in the college, they'll still make 70 in high school. And that's what they have to continue on. So if they don't make a C, if they made a 60 in the college, I would not let them take another college class, but they would pass for high school. So they need to make a C or higher on the college transcript to continue on. If they make a D their junior year, I probably wouldn't let them take something their senior year. Just because they did not prove that they could handle it. Or if they made it in December, I would not let them continue in the spring. And that has happened very few times, but most of the times the parents agree and, they just weren't ready and we're not going to continue. We're going to wait on that. The TSI info, I have on here that it's $15. It's actually only $10 because I'm giving it to you. Used to, the lady came, back that up, put 10. And she gave it, and they charged $15 to give it. But since it's me, I'm not making any money off of it. So I'm just buying their test ticket, and it's $10. So hang on. I have something to show you. I will send this home to you, and I made it on orange paper. I don't know why I'm showing it, but it's to hang on your refrigerator. I'm bad at this. Just to remind you to send the $10. I won't tell them no, they can't take the TSI. I will still let them take it, but I will just remind you to send $10 because the school did pay for we pay for units to take the test. And so we're just paying the school back, the Knox City school back for buying those units they're like vouchers or something to take the test online. And so that's all you're doing with the $10. I'm going to show you something, to share something else. So what you're going to get, if you decide this is what you want to do, you're going to get 2 things. You're going to get the application, and it looks like this. And I have it printed out, and you will just fill out this top part. If you don't know their social security number, I can look it up. It's fine. Don't panic about any of that. This email right here, put your email in there. Don't put theirs. They don't check their email. You probably don't check your email either, but you might check it before they will. Especially in the summer, because some of these kids only access their email off of their Chromebook, and they're going to have to turn their Chromebook in for the summer. So put your email, because you're going to want to get the notification from Western Texas College that says you're enrolled and here's how to pay the bill. And if that goes to their email and you don't ever get the notification, you're going to get caught off guard. Now, I will say this. I am going to give you a notification myself through text that says, hey, they're posted. They don't send me the bill. They don't give me information about anything like that. I rely on y'all to tell me. So right now, Miss Martinez has a kid in dual credit, so it's easy. She can tell me, hey, I got the email. Used to, I had a kid in dual credit, so I could do it. But otherwise, I rely on y'all to text me and say, hey, Miss Howarth, they posted it, and then I can get it out to the other parents and say, it's posted. So at that point, I will submit all of this after school ends because I have to submit final report cards and stuff like that. So I just wait. I'll submit it in early June. They probably won't do anything with this paperwork until late July. That has been the norm. So don't look for anything right away, and don't panic if you don't see it for a while. They'll go back to work right before August, and they'll get all of this processed. They'll get them put into courses, and that's when you'll get the notification to pay the bill. You can pay 2 different ways. You can pay online, or you can write a check. If you write a check for the complete amount, send the check to school with your kid to me, and I will get it to them. If you pay online, you can set up a payment plan. So if the bill's $400, they let you split that into payments in different ways. I'm not entirely sure the ways of that, so I don't want to say it, but I think it's something like maybe you can pay $100 4 different months, or maybe you can pay $200 and then $100 and $100. I don't actually know. I haven't done that. But Ms. Martinez was explaining that. So if you have any questions about that, I think she could probably explain that better than I can. But I do know there is a payment plan available. It is $30 to pay online, regardless if you pay in full or if you pay a payment plan. It's just $1 fee, but it is a $30 fee. So if you're going to pay in full and it's out of your checking account, write the check because there's no fee. But if you're going to pay with your credit card, you just have to pay the fee. And that's just how they are. So you're going to fill this out. Just answer all the questions. Here's print the parent name, print the student name. Then you come down here, the student's going to sign and you're going to sign. And then you're going to send that back to me. And then there's another sheet. That's a 2-page document. And then you'll have this third sheet. And the same thing, you're going to fill out the top. It's actually pre-filled for you right here. But the pre-filled one has already the courses. It'll have English at 1301, and it'll have history already printed on there for you. And so basically you're saying that you want them to sign up for the 2 classes. If you just wanted them to do one of them, you can mark one out, or just let me know and I'll white it out before I submit it. And only the student signs this one. So that's it. You have those 3 sheets, and then I'll submit the rest. I'll have to submit their TSI scores, and I'll have to submit their end of the year transcript for them to be in. So that's pretty much the general overview. I just want you to know what you're getting into before you do it. I want you to know that it's not mandatory. There's nothing behind it except for personal gain for your student. That's all it is. And if your kid does not know what they want to do, this could be a good start for them, or it could be a negative start. You could see. If you have a student who absolutely knows, I want to do nursing. I want to be a nurse. I want to go to nursing school right out of school, high school, or I'm going to do welding, and I want to go right into the welding program. They won't need all of the generic courses. If they're going straight to nursing school, like through Vernon College to do LVN or RN, they don't need 2 histories and 2 Englishes. They just need 1. So at semester, we would put them on a different track. And that's fine. We can put them on the nursing track. But if they don't know, or if they think they want to go to the 4-year nursing, like BSRN, they're going to go to MSU to do nursing school, or Hardin-Simmons or ACU, then they're going to need to just stay on the generic track and take all of the classes, because that's going to require them. I do know that Abilene Christian doesn't take all of Western Texas College's classes. So be careful if that's your plan. If you're going to some kind of private school like Baylor, we've had a student go to Baylor before, and it was iffy on whether they were going to they ended up taking them all just as general electives kind of, but it was a little bit unnecessary for her to take some of these courses. If your student wants to go to Texas A&M, they have their own math. They don't use regular college algebra. They use Texas A&M college algebra. However, Western Texas College does offer that one. So we would just have to know ahead of time before they were a senior that they're wanting to go to Texas A&M, and we would not put them in the regular college algebra. We would put them in the Texas A&M version. So it's just little stuff like that you kind of have to, you're kind of fighting your own battle here, but I will help you as much as I can. And if I don't know the answer, which a lot of times I don't, because I don't work for colleges and they change their mind all the time, I just call them and ask, or I find a contact, or our contact at Western Texas College. Her name is Alicia, and let me take a drink. She knows a lot and can find out a lot, and she does not mind y'all emailing her or students emailing her. She loves to help. So I will put you in contact with her if I don't know. Like, we'll help. We'll figure it out. But anyway, that's just it. So if you think your answer is yes, then you need to send $10 for your student to take the TSI next Wednesday, and we'll go from there. And then I will give them, if they pass, when they pass, they should. If they pass, I'll give them the paperwork. Send it home and you can fill that out. And if you have any questions, just call me, come up here, text me, whatever. If it's during school, if it's like 7 p.m. and you're texting me about this, I might not answer you. I mean, I might just say, okay, talk to me tomorrow, because I'm probably sitting in my recliner and I don't want to talk about dual credit. And trust me, the dual credit is not an emergency situation because I know how they work. Like, it can wait till tomorrow. Western Texas College is nice. So yeah, but that's it. If you need me, you can holler at me, and hopefully the video wasn't too hard to watch. I know it's long because I'm a talker, but I just really want y'all to understand, that it's just a personal decision. I want you to understand what you're getting them into. I probably have forgotten to say some things because people weren't here to ask questions, but I do kind of like this because this way you can go back and reference it if you do have a question.